Hello again, welcome back for another daily Bite of Isaac Repentance. It is May 17th, 2024. It's been a couple of days since I've last played. Right, we're gonna do another Eden run here. That elusive, yeah, thing is hiding out, you know? Whatever. Seed here is B61WSNVY. And look down, that's just what I need. Look. Well, we got better stats than last time, beginner stats. That's nice. What have I been up to the last couple of days? Exercising. Visiting some people. Then what else? Jeez Louise. Oh, I've been burning discs as usual. I'm about 2 terabytes now worth of discs, and I need more. Haha! Not surprised. Not surprised. But I think by the time I get these 3 discs burnt, I only have, roughly a little over a terabyte left to burn. So, yeah. Give or take. At least on this hard drive. Then I'm gonna have to like crack open my hard drive out of my laptop and put it through a thing to access it on the computer, because I can't just boot it up on my laptop because it's super damn slow. And then get stuff off my cell phones. Like it's gonna be probably, I'm kind of guesstimating here, probably upwards of closer to 4 terabytes, I think, overall I'm going to have to back up. Is my hunch. Which I wish that my 2 discs didn't get, you know, screwed up or whatever, you know, if I didn't screw up the process with it. I mean, the second one, I didn't know better. Like, I didn't even know some of the files were starting to corrupt on there. So that wasn't on me. The first time, yeah, that was on me. For some reason, I wasn't thinking things through, and I stopped the burning process thinking, oh, I'll just restart it. No, they're not rewritable discs. They're not. They only write once and read many. Or whatever the term is they were talking about with discs. It's also hot as shit in here too. Oh, it's hot. Oh yes, we're getting the late spring to early summer kind of season right now. I don't have a problem with heat too much. I say too much because I still have a little bit of issues. That's pretty good. Like, I don't care for the cold. Well, I guess it depends on the cold, right? If it's like Arctic temperatures, just unbearably cold, you know, I don't like that. But if it's like the 30s, 40s, 50s-ish kind of thing, yeah, that's fine. As long as there's not much wind, you know, and then I'll bring like a wind chill and it's colder than anything out. I think with the raise of humidity also helps too with like keeping it nice as well. We're then an exception in the winter. If it's the summertime, that's a different story. It's a sticky, unbearable heat. And the mosquitoes have been out too, I've noticed. Trying to bite me the other day. I'm like, you little bastards. Hadn't seen you fellas in a while. Coming by to give me some West Nile, some juicy West Nile. Let's see, let's backtrack here and just look down in here. Okay. Just seeing if there's extra hearts or anything fun. Which there wasn't any fun, to be honest with you. Alright. I guess I could have went down the side path and looked for 2 extra pennies or something. Whatever. Whatever. My running's been getting better too, weirdly enough. I don't know if it's like, maybe me catching up my sleep has been improving my running. Because it's been like that the last couple of weeks. That my running's been improving, and I would have like issues before where it's like, one day, like, I feel like I improved with my running, with my breathing and stuff, at least, and stamina. And then when I have running a few days later or something like that, guess what? The progress is gone all of a sudden. Like, what the hell? Like, as if I didn't even build up any, like, stamina or whatever. And I thought I'm getting enough sleep for the longest time. I don't know. I've been sleeping a lot more, too, the last couple of weeks. Been going to bed sooner at times and napping, and I've been getting plenty of sleep for the most part. It's been a couple of days where last week that earlier in the week that I was lacking that stuff, lacking that sleep. I don't know. I don't know what the explanation is really exactly. It's I have some thoughts, but you know, I'm not a scientist. I actually did increase my Stairmaster today. I'm going to be lifting tonight, of course. But increased it, and yeah, it was a little bit more work, but surprisingly, it didn't really kick my ass as hard. Now, I was on the Stairmaster, I'd say a couple days ago, maybe yesterday. Might have been yesterday, but I was using the other one. It was much faster, and I was already getting winded about halfway there, so I stopped. Then I got on this one, and it was like not a problem, like, okay. So I guess it was an exception yesterday that I was having issues. And I'm fine today. I don't know what the fuck it is. I should have bombed that rock, by the way. Silly old me. Yet to find a card. Take advantage of this blank cardness, you know? So we start out with an interesting item here. Brother Bobby, you know, I guess I'll take it. I'll take a gander in here. Okay. Well, we could fight in there. You know what? Well, side path, I think I don't know. Will it take me about the same distance as if I go to the chest or something? I feel like it wouldn't. But I could be wrong. I can still get back on the regular path anyways. Just kind of add some variation, right, on this run? Okay, let's see here. What else I've seen? I've seen like some news about some movies being released or something, shows and stuff. It's a Happy Gilmore 2 coming out, which I never thought I would say that like ever. I've seen bits and pieces of Happy Gilmore. I need to get around to watching it. Supposedly it's a classic. I mean, I've seen other films by yeah, I'm blanking on his name for some reason. Damn it, why am I like it's the tip of my tongue here, really. It's what was his name? Adam Sandler. Yeah, there we go. I had to think there for a second. I've seen a few of his movies. Waterboy, Big Daddy. I know there's like other ones. I feel like I've seen other ones too. I can't remember. I hadn't seen Big Daddy in ages. I say upwards of like 20 years or something like that. It's been a while. Ah. They had one I remember there was a preview of. It was like an animated thing he had. It's like a Christmas film or some sort. Never seen it. Never got around to seeing that. I mean, I imagine there were like other films of his that I've seen. I just don't remember. Finally a card. Speed down. Splendid. Well, of all the cards you would give me, you give me this one, huh? I can do an I am error right now for shits and giggles. I mean, you can't say no to that, right? I mean, I'm gonna probably pop it later. Oh yeah, well, it's not his film technically, but I did see him in it. Uncut Gems. Yeah, I talked to a couple people that watched it with me. I watched it before. They were so disappointed. What was like frustrated was like telling me is like if I ever recommend him another film like that, he'll never talk to me again. Because he was expecting like some big, you know, significant things gonna like turn things around in the film, and it didn't. It disappointed him so much. I threw him a curveball. Because that was after we watched The Social Network together, which I've never seen. And then I suggested that film, I think, later on. So I was expecting kind of a Social Network kind of positivity movie with it, where it's like, oh, someone went from like rags to riches and stuff. No, a little bit of an opposite with this. And then I've seen like, well, speaking of, yeah, that movie, like I've seen The Lighthouse. It's okay. Midsommar is fucked up. The Green Knight. I didn't care for it too much. And the Moonlight I seen years ago in university. And it's like, not my kind of movie. And neither was Green Knight too much. I mean, I get it. They have different themes, you know, different timelines of all these different stuff. I hadn't seen like the other stuff that they made, especially the recent stuff. The Citizen or whatever movie. Which I heard it was just kind of a mixed reception with that, but... Which I shouldn't be too surprised though, because they've been pushing a bunch of movies left and right. Normally they were releasing a movie here and there. Instead of like a bunch of them like that. A short amount of time. Kind of like with like Borderlands, right? You have Borderlands 1, 2 that came out, and then Borderlands 3 came out. And it was like spread out after like several years or so. And then after that, it was like, oh yeah, every couple of years, lol. And they got lesser in quality. I mean, I kind of liked Borderlands 3. I never played the Tiny Tina's whatever thing. And then I think they had like the Adventures of Borderlands, and then they had a prequel with Borderlands 3. I never played. I knew a couple people that played it, but it seemed like they quickly fell out of it too. So, yeah. Someone was just asking me tonight if I've got around to seeing the Fallout series yet. And I said I hadn't. They seemed like they liked it. I'm like, okay. There's someone that I know, the only person I know that's seen it, that, you know, I mean, just seen it in general, I guess. Really liked it. They're watching, like, also, like, this American Horror Story on whatever. And I was watching a little bit with them last week. telling me about all this stuff. Like, it's over my head because it's like there's so much going on at once. We can actually take advantage of this here, by the way. Oh, it gives me a speed down? I didn't even know that. How about those apples? Take advantage of this. We'll take this. Dangerous times we are in, Harry. Best be ready for it. Or whatever, you know what I mean. A quote from Hagrid. Haggy Red. Yeah, the horror story was weird. She was like explaining to me about like, oh yeah, this is going on and this is going on and this is going on. And I'm like, uh-huh. I got kind of tired of it. And she was watching Rome. Which I almost forgot about that. I've never seen Rome, but I know of Rome. The promotions back in the day or whatever. That's been a long time ago. 2007 or something. Also, can I say that was a shit item there they gave me? Freaking Yum Heart. Get that garbage out of my face, you sicko. I think we're down to 1 heart now.
I'm excited.
Oh, I'm not excited. Well, if Fallout show beats like the Halo show, cool, you know? Looks like they're kind of in the canon so far, at least for the previews. Unlike the fake Master Chief. The romance side of things with it and stuff. Oh, what will Season 3 bring with that? Probably more of that Love Quest stuff. I mean, I can't be surprised with that kind of stuff, you know? It's like games and movies are kind of coinciding with being crappier over time. But thankfully, we got those independent developers out there, right? Making these indie games, playing the crap out of Balatro. As much as frustrating it is with me playing the game, it's got a fun mechanic. Fun times for all. Bad pills all around, by the way. Filigree feather, cannot have. Also get like duality, but then it's like it's late in the game to even have this at this point. Unless we find an angel in a super secret room. Yeah, I only get 1 item. I mean, that and self-sacrifice rooms can do it too, but like I don't have the health at this point. I did read that they're doing a season 2 of Fallout, which is not a surprise because they kind of greenlight that before the season ends officially, like they did with the Halo stuff. Makes sense because it takes time to like film and everything, even if it's garbage. Zing! I see it too on Twitter about like Young Sheldon's ending tonight, which I didn't care for the Big Bang Theory. I've seen a few episodes with somebody. Bazinga, am I right? Let's see here. Right? Everything going on this? Okay, good. Make sure I didn't stop this recording by mistake. Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. Like I don't really care for it too much. Like, I don't really watch sitcoms, is the deal. You know, I should have known better. See here is 0N3HK1FQ. You wasted that whole time just to die. Ah, we got better damage. A little less tier rate than last time. That's fine. About 20 minutes lost, I guess, into the ether. And lost our streak. Now we're back to 0. That's cool. Whatever. Yeah, I played a little reckless there, I'll admit. So anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I never really watched Big Bang Theory or Sheldon. I mean, I watched a couple episodes of Big Bang Theory years ago, and it was on TV, and I wasn't big on that. Breaking Bad, I was. I still got to finish with Better Call Saul. And Stranger Things. I guess I got like first photos of Stranger Things season 4, 5, whatever. I think it's season 5. I think, right? Yeah, it's gotta be season 5 now. They're working on. It's like, shit. That means they're pretty far with this thing. This is probably gonna be coming out next year or something. It's the last season. Supposedly. It probably is, really, because, like, characters are getting older. You can only run so much with the gain of kids. Saving the world and all that stuff. It's kind of like what they did with Harry Potter, right? They only have so much time to, like, film them as they're getting older. Otherwise, if they get too old, then it's going to be kind of awkward. I guess there's an exception, right? Like, the Hunger Games, like they came out of the Hunger Games, whatever the hell it is. I've only seen one of the Hunger Games, and that was like the 3rd, 4th one or something like that. I don't think I've ever seen, well, maybe I seen the first one, didn't I? I don't remember. It's been a long time ago. I volunteer as tribute. Shit, I've never even seen Twilight. Never read the books or anything, but I actually talked to somebody years ago who said that she read all the books and she watched all the movies. And she's never seen or read any of the Harry Potter books or movies. And I told her the same thing to her, only opposite. Like, you know, only the opposite of it. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen all the Harry Potter movies and read all the books, but I've never seen or read any of, you know, movies or... Why did I fucking do that for? That was silly. Never seen, like, any of the Twilight movies and never read the books. What a strange thing there, for sure. Like a parallel universe, right? In another dimension somewhere. I know I don't really believe the multi-dimension theory or anything, but I know of it. Another dimension out there. Let's say she has read all the Harry Potter books and seen all the movies, and I hadn't. I've seen all the Twilight movies and read all the books. And then also in that universe, I despise pizza for some reason. Just throwing a curveball out there in the universe. It's another thing I was thinking about too. Um, let's just skip on down. Um, they're bringing back My Strange Addiction. I was reading about that some months ago, a couple months ago, I think it was. I'm like, oh, that show that discontinued back in like 2011, 2012. The infamous cheesy potato lady. Eats nothing but cheesy potatoes is the deal. And she's got like, if I recall, type of diabetic problems, which some of the guests on the show have some kind of diabetic related issue or overweight issue or both. Like they had one woman who was eating nothing but cream popsicles, like creamsicles or something like that. And she has diabetes too. I'm like, shit. Another woman who sniffs nothing but gasoline. And she was talking about this origin story. Breaking down like, oh yeah. It started when my father had like a, I don't know, I think he had like a container of gasoline or something like that because he's a mechanic. I think that was the story. And asked her if she wanted to sniff the gasoline, which was just kind of fucked up, but okay. And so, anyways, that's, I guess, her origin story of how that all began. And so there was like, I don't know how many times she was sniffing gasoline. It was like a few dozen times a day or something like that. So she has like a container of gasoline, which is like a bottle of gasoline, just sitting right next to her bedstand, I think it was. And she would just sniff it when she gets up in the morning or whatever. And she takes some with her. It's bizarre as fuck. And, I mean, that's why they call it Strange Addictions. The show. Get it? Because it's in the name. Anyways, yeah, so she would just sniff gasoline. And, so they were talking about with the health experts thinking like, well, this causes like this kind of damage and this kind of damage. And so, if I recall, there was not any family. Well, no, she has a daughter. That's right. So she has a daughter that looks just like her. I'm not saying like, well, duh, because of genetics. No, I mean like, looks like her in the sense that of the deterioration from sniffing that gasoline is what I mean. I'm imagining that something was happening during development where she's sniffing gasoline. That's what I'm trying to say. And so anyways, the doctors or a doctor at some center had concerns, so he was doing these tests on her, quote unquote tests. I say quote unquote tests because like they were checking, I think, certain blood levels and nerve damage, supposed nerve damage. And saying that remarkably didn't really affect her. I'm like, bullshit. If you're sniffing gasoline, like, for fucking decades, you know, over a few dozen times a day, like, I'm pretty sure you're causing consistent damage, motherfucker. And so, yeah. But it turned out, I guess a few years later or so, she actually passed away. So there's that too. And I think I don't remember, I think she might have reduced her gasoline sniffing, but she's still sniffing gasoline, like. I imagine with some of these people, they might reduce something to some degree, but then they were to increase. They could probably go back to the regular dosage and stuff. It's just like, I know there's like some kind of origins with some of these people doing these weird things, right? But it's like how do you keep up with that? Like, that is some determined willpower to be addicted to something like that, right? Now, I know with, like, meth or something like that, or crack, it's like a hit, and then it's like, it latches onto you, and then it's like, be harder than shit to get off of it for a lot of people. Takes a lot of relapses or something like that, depending on the person and their willpower and everything else, and how much they've been doing to get off the stuff. And like people who are eating only one food for like decades, that's interesting too. I actually was reading something about that. There is a certain condition where how do I describe it? Some people have super sensitive taste buds where they only have a limited palate. But it's a limited palate, so it's like they'll eat a few kind of foods, right? But I guess there must have been some kind of very rare, like something rarer than those people. We're talking about RNG stuck with RNG. Put it in simple terms. Of having not only this kind of condition, but like a adverse form of the condition where it's like, I'm not a doctor or anything or a psychologist, but this is just my hunch. Having this kind of condition to where just a perfect storm. They just kind of latched onto this thing. They're sniffing or eating or drinking or whatever, and then it's like that becomes their center to their life. I guess in that case, consuming something like that, right? But they have other episodes where they're not consuming things, right? So in that could be something psychological. I mean, they're all psychological, but what I mean is like, when it comes to, yeah, when it comes to like all that stuff, it's all psychological. But what I'm talking about is when it comes to, say, sniffing gasoline or something, it's like, well, that has to be something more psychological than like something physiological, where it's like, you know, the genes with I don't know, the taste buds or whatever, you know, causing a different palate. Because I don't think it works that way with smelling, but I could be wrong. I think it just works with the taste buds. But they have people where they have other obsessions, right? I mean, they have one that ate nothing but couch cushions or whatever. Or maybe that's part of her diet. And that's part of food too, but then it's like, she had an interesting description of it, which I'll get to in a second here. But they had another person who was eating nothing but these. Holy shit. Redeemed. Also, looks like this guy's got some paint on their head that shouldn't be on their head. Oh, it's Halloween. Lay off that kid. The little babies. Anyways, yeah, going back with this. So, like, how do I put it in words? Like, okay, so, yeah, the couch cushion one, yeah, woman who's eating a bunch of couch cushions. And I think the couch too. They had another one that was eating these straws, very similar to these, like the straws they got in Starbucks, where it stops the coffee and stuff. And she would eat nothing but those. And another one was eating like hair follicles. And they all were talking about something in common, which is pretty interesting, which was like the crunchiness to it. Of course, they had the one woman who was also eating rocks too. Yeah, I know. I've seen all these, not all the episodes, but I've seen many of them years ago. I've seen one where it was like a woman was eating rocks. She's going by this, I don't know, seashore, ocean shore, some kind of body of water, you know, shoreline. Going out there collecting rocks, and I think even going down into the, like a bluff or something, and getting some too. And she describes like earthly flavor that she likes of these rocks. Probably likes the texture too. But he says another thing too. It's like they kind of gravitate towards texture too. These people. And I'm wondering if that's part of that taste bud kind of genetic issue or something. There's like tests out there you could actually check that out for yourself if you got the issue or not. Like it's got these strips or something like that you put in your mouth, on your tongue or something. And based on if you could taste certain things or not, would determine that you would have the condition more than likely. I guess it's like it tests the sensitivity of tastes. That's a big one. There's certain tastes that you like or dislike that someone can't taste normally on the strip, and then you taste it, then it's like, I wouldn't say foolproof, but it's up there in the likelihood. Sausage! Let's see if we can find ourselves a reroll or something. I mean, not to say that sausage is bad or anything, it's just I'm gonna look for my death certificate. I unlocked that recently. Like last month, kind of recently. Or 2 ago. There's even people out there who could see and taste sounds. And I'm not saying like, well, this might be just like a mental impairment or anything. Not really. It's a rare genetic mutation thing. Like something to do with like the wires are being crossed differently with the brain or whatever. Doesn't affect them mentally or anything. Like, you know, anything negative with it. It's just some of them can taste music, like tasting sounds or whatever. Others can see colors within sounds. Like it's weird, right? I've seen some documentary stuff about that too. It's interesting. It's interesting how the body works, you know. Now, what's also interesting too with those people that those conditions, like I think their colors are different than each other's with how the sounds are perceived and stuff too. So it's not like something universal either. And they have different forms of how it comes out, how pronounced it is too. The human body's so darn interesting, isn't it? You know what? I think we should take this with us. Red Candle did some good, but at this point we got Sacred Heart. Hopefully we don't die again, you know? That was old silly me there with that. Yeah. Weird how the body works in weird, strange ways, you know? And, you know, what's interesting, too, is that Um, even with these conditions that people, those kind of conditions that people have, with like seeing colors and all that stuff through sound, is they can take advantage of that in many cases. Like somehow they can create patterns of thought within those colors and everything. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like there's a way to do it. And they could be like geniuses and stuff. Oh, look at that. We got a synergy. A cool little synergy. It's fascinating. There was one I seen kind of briefly. I don't think I went through the entire episode, but I've seen bits of it. It was pretty infamous on social media. The guy in love with his car, pleasuring his car and all that. I'm not talking about like, you know, midlife crisis where it's like you go and get yourself a big expensive automobile, or when you get much older than middle ages and doing that. I'm talking about like, this guy had like a full-fledged like want a relationship kind of thing, deal with a car, an inanimate object. That was also off the show too. Yeah. Yeah, another one too of a woman that bathed in bleach. And her deal was she wanted to be white. I'm like, huh. I mean, that in itself is definitely psychological. You know, like there's this cognitive issue where it's like this person doesn't feel comfortable in their own body, and so they have to try to do something extreme to change how they look completely. It's not possible with bleach. And I forgot what the reason was why she wanted to do that. Like, I don't remember. It's been a year since I've seen the episode. But then she was ending up getting burns, of course, because it's bleach. I mean, of course, it's extremely corrosive.
Look up.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. That microsecond that I put that down. Oh, hello there, motherfucker. Wow, we might be able to find some money. Additional money around here. Might be unlikely, but we'll find and see. We'll look around and see. I'm trying to remember other episodes. Well, the cheesy potato lady was interesting. Gagging on vegetables and stuff. But what I do find interesting is that they don't do like any taste test strips or whatever, that I recall, at least. I don't know, maybe it wasn't known about maybe at the time, or maybe it wasn't advanced enough to have that at the time. I don't know. Or maybe it wasn't, you know, going to give them ratings. They thought that maybe a doctor professional is going to be like giving other things. And there's this weird concept to like, so I watched a YouTuber that was talking about all these different episodes. Might have been one in particular, but I thought it was multiple episodes. About the two hosts of the show. Just not knowing what they're doing for like basic psychology kind of shit for the most part. Like shaming the addict. In many different kind of ways. And they brought up a good point about the cheesy tater one. I think it was the cheesy tater episode that this YouTuber was talking about. Brought up a good point I didn't really think about. I actually was looking into it. It's like, huh, that's interesting. And that is essentially so in these some of these episodes, they have what's called like how do you describe it? I forgot the name of it, but it's like shock. It's like a shock, right? They show like a bunch of food or something that they're eating after all this time. It's supposed to give them some kind of a shock factor to it. And that's not really used really a lot, if not at all, for interesting here. You can only have 3, huh? Well, I mean, I guess we'll get this since like we don't have to worry about dying so much. But yeah. Whoops. That's on me. They were talking about, got a good point about like how that's never been really used. And it did like very little to nothing with, you know, changing people. You know, I kind of thought about that. It's like, you know what? If somebody like approached me and like, oh yeah, you've been eating all these pizzas. Here's all these pizzas, and just dump them out on the pavement or something like that. And expect me to change my ways, like it'd be more unlikely that I won't be changing my ways. I'm just gonna be eating more pizza. Now I know that's different for people, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, that's a wake-up call, you know? I can understand that, but I feel like, you know, because this YouTuber was doing some research with this stuff, and it was like, oh yeah, it's not used so much in the industry, this shock factor. It's like a name for it. And yeah, going on these details about it, and it's like, and then like shaming the victim and stuff like that, this weird stuff, and just made no sense. Also, is this a loophole? Or am I just getting incredibly lucky? What the fuck is... Okay, I was gonna say, did I find a break? Anyways, I don't know if they're really licensed professionals or not. I can't remember the 2 hosts of the show. I imagine they'll have different hosts for the upcoming stuff, because it's been over a decade. I mean, I guess it's possible they'll bring them back, but like all nostalgia, you know? Radical man. But then again, they're not really so much of like celebrities, let's say. It's not like Honey Boo Boo or something back then where it was like, oh look, it's Honey Boo Boo. You know, she's all over the news and like had her own different TV shows and spin-offs, and then she was parodied in South Park. And memes, of course. Spaghetti with like butter. Just call it sketty. Like, what the fuck? I guess it's no different than butter noodles, but I do like butter noodles, right?
2 of diamonds.
Don't get me wrong.
Diamonds.
Like, from time off and on, I would go to like Noodles and Company and get some butter noodles, butter garlic noodles specifically, and eat it. But it's like, it's not spaghetti noodles though. I know they're a little bit of a different noodle, but then I think it's like they put butter. If I recall, they put butter with spaghetti sauce and meatballs. Is that right? Let me see something here. I gotta know, because I know it was at least spaghetti and butter. Let's see here. I have to look it up. Honey Boo Boo Skitty recipe. I know it was called Skitty. All right. Honey Boo Boo's favorite Skitty dinner recipe. We made it so, and so can you. Oh God. Boil spaghetti. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's normal with spaghetti. Melt some margarine in the microwave. Oh shit, it's margarine, not butter? I thought they put butter in it. The Thompsons seem partial to Country Crock. So that's the brand. I heard of Country Crock. Squirt some ketchup into the melted margarine and stir well. Then stir into the cooked pasta. Enjoy. What the fuck? Okay. That's even more fucked up. So not only they're not using real butter, they're using margarine of all fucking things. I mean, I guess it'd be cheaper, but... Holy fuck. But they also use fucking ketchup instead of like spaghetti sauce? What the fuck? Ketchup instead of spaghetti sauce? Well, I mean, I know they're both like tomatoes, duh, but like, is this fucking right? Which is short for spaghetti. It's an old family recipe. What the fuck? How far back does that go? 3 ingredients: ketchup, spaghetti, butter. It seems pretty extraordinary. This is a YouTube video. So this guy says butter. The website for making this stuff is on, it says margarine. Well, this major one, Fox News saying from 2012 says butter. They're all over the place. Pound of spaghetti, 3/4 cups of ketchup. Holy shit. 3/4 cup of butter or margarine. Okay, butter or margarine. Oh, I see. So it seems like maybe they go back and forth. That sounds like butter or margarine, since they mentioned about the Country Crock or whatever, which I think is like this brown container or something that came in. I know, because my mom used to get that stuff. But we didn't make no sketty. We made spaghetti with actual tomato sauce and not putting butter in there. Oh, and there was meat too. Did I eat it? No. I was picky then. Oh, you're picky, huh? Well, I'm not picky as much as what I used to be, but like, I imagine her skitty would have been fine, you know? I'm not shitting on her cooking. It was just different times back then, you see. Now, truth be told, I used to not like eating, oh, what do you call it? I used to not like eating sauce on my pizza. That's right. For a short bit, I had sauce on my pizza, but then it's like, this is really fucking dangerous. Why am I doing this? I think I way went overboard. I shouldn't have fucked around to find out. It's fine. We'll just get this back. I mean, we're getting stats anyways, so why not? Last shot of the game. What was I saying? So... yeah, I used to eat pizza with sauce, and then at some point, for a couple of years or so, maybe a few years, they didn't want sauce in the pizza anymore. Actually, you know, actually more than a couple of years. It was like several years. For some reason, I had a stint of that, of not wanting any of it. And so I would order pizza without sauce. Call me a freak of nature, I don't give a hoot. Oh, and this shit's going on, huh? Do I want to fight this way? Well, even if I use the Emperor card to try to restart the thing, I'd probably kick the damn thing on again, so... Fucking nut up or shut up. Fucking rockin' music, man. There's some adrenaline tonight. Yeet! We're gonna get some more adrenaline when I lift. But yeah, then like some years after that, I started eating sauce again. It actually been appreciating the sauce. Good sauce in a pizza is just nice. Just weird how the mind just changes with things, right, over time. I've eaten so much different things over the years that I would never have considered eating them when I was a kid. True story. Blah, 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 blah. There's a little fun sucker here. Trying to fucking stop me. I don't think I ever fought Hush in this speed before. It's like trying to play Guitar Hero on fast mode. And no, I did not do it on expert with fast mode. I couldn't even do shit for expert so much. Oh, if you practiced. Yeah, I could have. I was lazy. Can I tell you a secret? I used to play Guitar Hero, like in the later years, using a PS2 controller. That I would also like tape down the colors of. It's a true story. So I wish I have a photo somewhere too of this. So I used to have a PS2 controller. I think I kind of took apart for some reason. I think because maybe some of the buttons were broken, so I had to take them apart to use them or something. But then I would also like not color in, but I would tape something over the buttons with clear plastic tape with some paper that's colored in for like representing the buttons to press to hit the keys for on the screen or something. Because they all like worked pretty well. And I would play Guitar Hero doing that. More like Control Hero at that point. Yeah, so I used to do that. And I was better on that than I was on the guitar. Which, ironically, I played some guitar when I was in middle school. Ironically enough, a real guitar. For class. Acoustic, if you're wondering. Oh. Yeah, I did some weird shit over the years as a kid and as an adult and stuff. Partly adult too. And then when I was playing Guitar Hero 3 on the PC, I also used the keyboard too. And that time I didn't colorize it because I knew what buttons to press. I could have done the same thing, I guess, with the oh, there goes that. Just like that, gone from my heart. Now, was that constituted as cheating though, since I'm not playing Guitar Hero with a guitar? You can be the judge of that, I guess. I mean, it's like it's a different way of playing. It's like how people have been playing Elden Ring, like the one guy I seen recently playing Elden Ring with a customized sword. Or playing Doom on a pregnancy test. Why did I pick this thing up? I don't want to be tap firing, damn it. Whatever. Oh, not quite spun yet. Yeah, so that's some of my quirks. Lol. I don't know if there's anyone else out there that did that kind of thing too, like me, with playing Guitar Hero either with a PS2 controller or a keyboard. Those were the days. I even tried modding some like songs in, like there was ways to do it. I kind of got it working somewhat, but it's just like you had to customize it is the deal, and I wasn't great with customizing Guitar Hero songs. With using songs that I wanted to import in there. I use some weird programs and stuff. It's a different time. Probably much more fluid now than what it used to be. And you're wondering, no, I did not beat through the fire and flames above easy difficulty. But I did turn on like the fast mode while playing on the controller or the keyboard. Boy, howdy. Okay, secret room time. Somewhere around here. Oh, great. I was hoping it'd be some item in here of some sort. See, maybe that super secret room might be a little bit more difficult to find. Even though we failed the last run here, we did a pretty nice job. Bringing it back. Last run, I mean, I didn't have to lose that. Like, it wasn't as bad as the run before that, where it was like, I pulled it around. There was no excuse for this run. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to look for this thing. Could be the opposite end of that big room or somewhere else. Fun times all around. Gone forever. been a while since I did some mega saving. I mean, outside of like the daily, that is. All right, let's wrap this up. So I got a lift. It's been over an hour. And burn more files too when I'm at it. Back up more files, you know, burn those files on the disk. Got like 3 discs to go now. It's fucking insane. I got through all of them. And that'll do it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.